first thing that we're going to do is find our missing points, right? So we know we have our 2% slope. Change colors. And we know the length. So does someone have this right in front of them? Can someone scale this side and tell me the length? I don't have my AutoCAD open right now.
Yeah, the side is, I believe it's 30.
30. Okay. Does everyone agree with that? Right? We don't have it printed wrong. 30 at scale 20. Sounds about right. So we'll go 30. So we have our 0.02 slope. We're looking for our DE, and we have our 30 feet. So DE equals 30 times 0.02. Sorry, it's tight.
0.6, Justin.
Okay, whatever.
Whatever.
I'm not going to use my brain. I'm tired. And we are going downhill, right? This in this direction. So it's going to be 34.4 minus 0.6. 33.8. And it's the same difference in elevation. It's the same slope. We don't have a cross slope or anything. We're starting at 34.4 again. So we have the same 33.8 over here. Gosh, can't write tonight. And so the next thing that we want to do is figure out where our whole numbers are, or contours are going to be crossing our slab. So we have 33.8 here, and we have 34.4 here. So we have 34 in between there somewhere, right? So what you can do is you can look at it as there's 0.6 of a DE between these two numbers, and you have your 30 feet here. And so if you, all right, so we're looking for 34, right? 34, we know 34 is, we have 33.8, and we have plus 0.2 is 34, plus 0.2 is 34.2, and then we have our 34.4. So if we split this into thirds, we know there's 34 here and 34.2 here, 34.4, and we know this is 30 feet. So instead of doing math with the slope formula, we can just split 30 feet into thirds, and we know that the 34 is going to be 10 feet away from this 33.8.
Justin, still do the math.
Okay. All right. So we have our slope, right? So we're going to find this point where the 34 contour line is going to hit our slab. So we have our slope. In order to find that out, we're going to take our slope 0.02 equals our difference in elevation, which we know because we're trying to find 34, and we have 33.8. So we're going to go 0.2 for our DE. Gosh, I'm in the wrong place for this, aren't I? Equals 0.2, and we're looking for our L, right? So if you just switch places, L equals 0.2 over 0.02. So was it 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my math, what I said earlier was correct. You just measure up now 10 feet. I go to my AutoCAD, and I don't have it open. And we measure up 10 feet. Is this the right one? Hey, I have it. Okay. Sorry, give AutoCAD a moment. All right. And that is where our 34 contour line is going to cross our slab. We need to go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Since there's no cross slope or anything, it's just going to be at the same point. And we won't draw the contour yet. The next thing we're going to do is figure out, we're going to draw our dots, right? And the first thing to do is figure out where this first dot is going to go. And so we're at 34 right here. We're going to go down to 34.4. We're going to go down to 34. And to figure out how far that first contour line of 34 is away from 34.4, we're going to be using the 3-to-1 slope. And so we're looking for basically the L in the slope formula, right? We have our DE over L, and that's going to be the distance that that first point is going to be away from the corner of the slab. So we have our slope of 3-to-1, which we translate to percentage, 33%, or 0.33. And we know our DE because we're going from 34.4 down to 34. So it's 0.4. And we're looking for our L. So you just switch the L and the slope. L equals 0.4 divided by 0.33, 1 point something.
1.2.
0.2. L equals 1.2. And so your first dot is going to be 1.2 feet away from the corner of your slab. You go to your drawing, you draw that in, try to measure as best you can. And then you put your first dot there. Same on the other side. Just eyeball it for now. And then because you're using a slope of 3-to-1, that means for every 3 feet of run you have 1 foot of rise. So your contours are going to be 3 feet apart when you're looking at a minimum of 3 feet apart for a minimum 3-to-1 slope. So you're going to copy these dots or draw them at every 3 feet. And this is also like where your contours are going to be, right? So your contours have to stay a minimum of 3 feet apart in order to meet that 3-to-1 slope. So we're going to do the same thing down here for this point, but this was a different point. So we have to redo our math. What was the point down here? 33.8. And we're going to be going down to, well, we're going to go all the way down to 32, actually. Hang on. It's 33 is way up
33.
there. Yeah. So no, yeah, we're going down to 32. Well,
33.
wait a second.
Yeah, 33.
34. Yeah, 33. Yeah, sorry. I'm looking at something and confusing myself. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Yeah, we're going down from 33.8 to 33. And the difference in elevation this time is 0.8, which is twice of what we just did up here, 0.4. So if we take the math that we just did, that DE, the length of 1.2 over here, and we double that, that'll give us the distance of our first dot down here, 2.4. So we'll measure down 2.4 feet. Our first dot. And then the same thing, we'll put our dots every 3 feet. Do the same thing on the other side. And it's the same on both sides, right? Because there's no cross slope or anything. Each corner is the same elevation, so your dots are going to be the same. So you're going to draw the same spacing on both sides. It's over, right? Have all your dots laid out now. And what you can do to keep track of everything is you can number your your dots for the contour that they are. So let me go here now. And I have my dots coming out. There's only gonna be a couple actually up top.
Justin, do you mind explaining again? You said that from the point that we already have, we go up and down 1.2, right? But then you put a 1.3. Is that right?
I put
I
one-
think he
oh,
just
no,
typed it wrong.
no, it's the way.
Label.
Yeah, it's the way the dimensions are working in AutoCAD. I think it's like showing you. I'm not sure why I did
Yeah,
that.
okay, it's your setup.
Oh, you know what it was? I had probably had my ortho on. So if I do something like this,
Oh, because it's not completely straight.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
but it's 1.2.
Yeah, see if
It's
I go.
1.2. Okay.
Yeah,
And then from that 1.2 to the next whole number, it should be 3.
right, because we're maintaining that 3-to-1 slope, which is a minimum distance of 3 feet between contours, and those dots.
Oh, that's how you got the 3.
Right.
Okay.
So we have our dots over here. Just kind of eyeball these in. 2.4 feet, and then every 3 feet. I'm gonna have to do 4 of them. And if you think about it, we're starting at 33 here, so this dot is for contour line 33, 32, 31, 30, 33, 32, 31, 30. All right. Same thing up here, 34. This one's 34. This one's 33, 34, 33, 32. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side, right? Sorry. 33, 32, 31, 30. And now you're basically going to connect the dots. We're missing our one in the center here, right? Our 34, 34. And so what's tricky here, because we're going downhill in this direction, we're going to start with 34, right? Because that's the first one that's coming down, and then it's going to connect back to this one. You would start here and kind of wrap it around, hit 34, and then come do a straight line down to where it crosses the slope, right? You can do it smoother than that. Doesn't have to come way crazy like that. Should do these in a different color. Blue. So your 34 is going to come down, something like this, and then connect to where it intersects the slope. And then it's going to come straight across to the other 34 over here. Good. And then where's 34? 34 is up here. So it's got to connect to this dot, which is our other 34 that we wrote, right? We didn't write that in. So this is also 34, 33. So let's change back to blue. And if we see, here's 34, right? And we can kind of see the line that it would make. But the contour line 34 is already going right here. So we only need to go back to where it is. So we come back and then we curve around back to 34. So that's our first new contour line. Okay, for 33, we're gonna basically we're going to try to catch this dot right here and this dot while maintaining our 3-foot distance. So you don't want to start within 3 feet of your contour line over here. You want to start, at least back, back a little ways. Start that new contour, hit your 33, maintain that 3-foot distance between contours, and then come straight down and hit that other 30. And then you're going to come around the corner, do your straight line across, connect the dots. And here, I could have kept that straight. Oops. Around, connect the dots, and now we look where 33 is. It's coming through here. So you're just going to come, basically you want to stay 3 feet away. So if you were to measure kind of 3 feet away from this contour where it crosses that contour that we're going to connect to now, you're going to come straight across, straight from this point to that new, you're going to curve it, right? You're going to come and then gently curve back to that existing contour. Okay, and we just keep going. 32 is going to come through here. You can really just draw a straight line. Curve gently, and then from basically going to be a straight line with a little bit of a curved part here. And you'll curve around to your other 32, do another straight line over here. So making sense, guys? Are you starting to visualize it? All of this is fill, because we're adding. We're bringing these contours down. We're adding dirt. Let's see, our 32 is coming through here, so this line's already where it needs to be. You can basically come and curve it right back to 32 here. 31, you'll start here, maintaining this 3-foot distance. You're going to come from 31 down. Oh, draw your lines more cleanly, of course. Curve, maintaining 3-foot distance. That's just the most important thing here at this point, right? Connect the dots. Oh, I already went too far because we're looking for 31, right? So all we're doing is just connecting back to this existing contour. And for our last one, oh, it won't be, because we're going to have to do 29 eventually, just a little bit. But well, maybe my eyeballing might be a little wider than what you get when you actually measure it. You might not. No, you're going to end up hitting 29. So 30 comes down, same thing, maintaining that 3-foot distance. Go through the dots, around the corner. Same thing. Connect the dots. This one's only going to this point because this is already the 30 contour, right? So you're coming back and hitting that. And then 29, so this 30 contour that we just created is now within 3 feet of this 29, and it can't be. It needs to be at a 3-foot minimum. So you need to basically measure out 3 feet. Wherever it's 3 feet, you're going to have to create a new contour that's going around. So it, something like that. So it's always maintaining that 3-foot minimum distance between your new proposed contours. And 35 isn't going to get touched at all. So for everything, all the space in between our new contours and the existing contours that we had, all of that's going to be filled in with green because it's all a fill situation. Yep. That's how that one goes. Boarding. Okay, so for 42, let's see, do you have this corner already?
Yeah, I got a 40.9.
40.9, right, sounds about right. So that means we have 41 and 42 right here, right?
Correct.
41, 42. What's this contour, or it's this point elevation down
That
here?
one's 41.8.
41.8. So it's going to be right over here for 42. Um, so basically, we're going to have to keep minimum. You're going to take it straight from here and come straight up and hit that 42. It's going to come up like this, and then it's going to come down.
Now I see that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. You just want to see for this spacing, it's kind of arbitrary as long as you're not hugging the slab and then getting super close. You're
Mhm.
moving this contour a lot at this point. So whether you move it 2 feet this direction or 2 feet this direction doesn't really matter. There's pretty much just like the kind of one direct route basically while smoothing that curve.
Yeah.
For this one particular, you can get pretty close because it's 41.8 and is only 0.2 away from 42.
Mhm.
So it gives you a lot of room to just do your thing.
This one will come out probably a little more for this. And then you're going to end up with kind of 43 kind of dodging this one and then coming out. It's probably a little higher than that. Yeah, like this. And then coming down. And then as long as you just maintain the 4 feet right here, that tight point, and then you measure these points out correctly.
It was like a 3 feet, 3.2 actually,
There you
for
go.
those side contours.
Yeah, because you're working with that 0.9, right?
Yeah.
So, there you go. Yeah, I think you got that one.
Nice. Yeah, exactly. That was the only thing I was